Happy Sunday. Today we're going to have a fabulous time. Yes, we are going to have a guest panel and well, we're going to talk about being fabulous. So, let's talk. Let's do this. Time to go on with the show. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host, and today I am joined by, well, let's just say a fabulous group of women that are making a difference. And, they have real lives while doing that. We're going to get into it. And also, yes, I am wearing a very fun hat. And the reason why is because we are going in to a week of elections here in the United States. Yes, that dates the show. That's okay. I'm all right with that because we're going to be talking a little bit about that too. What is it that our voices have to do with our communities, our businesses, the way we want to go forward in our lives for ourselves and our families? So before we get into it any more than what I've already started, I want to go around and have everyone introduce themselves. I'm going to start to my left with Jessica. Jessica.
Hi, Tamara. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on here with all of you. I'm Jessica Dugas. I currently reside in beautiful seaside Mystic, Connecticut, and I am an intuitive mentor, an inspirational entertainer. I host the Breakthrough Show Network and produce there, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys.
Thank you. Carlotta.
All right. I want to say thank you so much, Tamara, for the opportunity to share here today. Hey, hello, all you ladies out there and everybody who's listening. I'm Carlotta Taylor, the founder and orchestrator of the No More Flinching movement. I am the author of No More Flinching, and I am the founder of a nonprofit for foster youth called Somebody Step In. And I am a life coach, and I just love helping people and helping people to overcome.
Excellent. Excellent. We're going to go next to Krystylle.
Hey, everybody. My name is Krystylle Richardson, and I am so pleased and happy and honored, Tamara, to be here. I am a wealth innovation strategist and the founder of a new term that is in the final stages of trademark called Innovology. It's innovative philosophies. And so I have been deemed as a dame with the Royal Order of the House of Cappadocia, as well as the Royal Ambassador, Global Ambassador of Innovation for I Change Nations. And so anything and everything I do is related to innovation, including what we do with the homeless and with at-risk youth all across the world. And I'm super, super excited to be here.
Well, thank you. Me too. And we're going to round it up with Ashley. Ashley.
Hi, Tamara. It's so great to be speaking with you again. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Ashley Ryckman. I am a mompreneur of 4, and I own a brand called Chic Lifestyle. We do specialize, particularly clothing, cosmetics, wigs, that type of thing. But we also have a community of thousands on Facebook, and really it's all about teaching women to curate their own unique chic lifestyle.
I told you guys, amazing. Now I want to go to those that are with us online and watching in the studio. We have Skip Thomas. So glad to see you on Fab. I love that, Fab Sunday. And we have Helene Wilson. So glad you're here with us. Jolie, so happy, grateful that you're with us. And it looks like a shout out for Ashley. Great. And Marie. Yes, Marie. And Helene, she's, have you seen the purple pen? We always wonder about that when we've got our show production coordinator, Caroline Brown, who, can I just say, shout out to her because she does amazing things to keep this show going. So we're going to get into it right away and we're going to talk. So we're going to talk, what is it? What is it to you to be fabulous? Now, let me just say this, guys. You heard that these women are mompreneurs. I think that's the word, right, Ashley? Mompreneurs, nanapreneurs. We've got, a mixture. The main thing here is, remember that commercial a long time ago? This is kind of what did it for me to get this group together. And that was, because truthfully, I was unpacking some stuff. I came across an old frying pan of my grandmother's. Yes, a cast iron one. And what did it make me think of? With that commercial, fry it up and, and yeah, it's a little stereotypical. However, when you think about life and having a family, having responsibilities, having a nonprofit, having a network, having multiple different lines, all of those things, life happens also, right? And so what is it to be fabulous? And I'm going to add to that question, what is it to be fabulous when you're maybe going through something and in your life, and so many people sometimes will put that brake on. And this group, I know. So I'm going to open it up. What is it to be fabulous, even when things don't feel so fab, if you will? Who wants to speak? Okay, I'm going to call on somebody. Okay, Crystal, go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I was like 1, 2, 3.
Go for it.
So to be fabulous is basically it's a state of mind, it's a state of being, it's a state of existence, even if you don't feel like it. And so coming on here today, for instance, I'm like, OMG, having network problems, right? But you just work it out and you go to plan A, B, C, D, E, whatever it is that you need to do to go ahead and make things happen. So living a fabulous life means that you're an overcomer. You know what your identity is. You know what it is. And you surround yourself with people who also know what it is, such as yourself, and you dwell in that. And part of what I mean by dwell is it doesn't matter what happens, come what may, you're going to make whatever it is work if it is at all possible. So being fabulous means know who you are and just basically get her done and do it with style and grace and beauty.
I love that. And in fact, okay, I'm going to call and I'm going to call on Ashley next, because Ashley, number one, someone mentioned you're looking fabulous, and I was gone for a little bit, and I just can see you've been up to something, and and you're looking absolutely fabulous, darling. And yeah, when I met you, it was like one of the last face-to-face events right before COVID hit. And then you came on with us and did some stuff, which was great. I really appreciate it. And during that time, I got to know a little bit more of your story, your backstory. And I have to say, it has affected me in so many different ways. I've thought of you so many times because you're out there. You are building an unbelievable business. And it hasn't always been easy, right?
Yeah, I think for me, being fabulous really is more about finding yourself, finding your confidence. We all have different traumas. We all have different situations. I would venture to say that, a lot of us, for those of the women that are on here building 501Cs, helping out kiddos, there's a heart for that. There's a story behind it, I'm sure. And I think that's true for all of us. I was a victim of sexual assault when I was a teenager. And it took me a really long time to understand that my self-worth wasn't just in my looks. It wasn't just what a man had to say about me. It wasn't just what society had to say about me. And I think really when I became a voice for my chic lifestyle community is when that started to sink in even more. When I recognized that it wasn't really the way that I looked, it was the way that I treated people. It was the conversations I was able to curate. It was the community that I was able to build around honesty, about sharing your truth, and about overcoming. So for me, being fabulous is, a balance between being confident and understanding who you truly are, truly loving yourself, and wanting to share that knowledge and how you got there with the world.
Beautiful. And, I was recognizing some of the people there, and you mentioned something right at the time and I just want to clarify, because I was mentioning it kind of like thumbs up on someone that had just come in. However, the subject matter that you brought up, incredibly difficult. And not everyone that is even a speaker is always willing to go out there and be that raw, that authentic. And so I want to say thank you for that. And maybe we can double back on that as we continue this discussion, because I have a feeling it's probably going to touch a few people here. Carlotta, I want to ask you to give your thoughts and yes, come after Ashley.
Okay, awesome. So to me, and you all ladies, you all gave a really great answer to that question. Really great question, by the way, Tamara. For me, if you're listening, if you're tuning in right now, I believe being fabulous, first of all, it's a decision. Okay. If you are alive and you can hear our voice, you are fabulous. All right. Number two, being fabulous is, I love to give this analogy. You have the boxer and you have the ring and you have the people that are fighting, the boxers. That's not my forte, but I'm just going to give this example. And when the boxer, let's just say a boxer gets hit really hard, like life hits you really hard, right? And you fall down to your knees. You might even fall all the way out into the ropes, right? As long as by the time that referee is counting to 5 or 6, you're fighting to get back up. You're never just staying down for the count. We don't stay down for 10, right? We fight and we continue to push through life. So if you're an overcomer, if you're listening right now, you're fabulous as well as everybody is on the panel.
I love that. And I love that analogy, because how true is it? That sometimes, that even that wind is knocked out, and yet, it's like, okay, pull it from your toes, whatever you need to do to get back in that ring. Thank you. Jessica, I want to bring a little bit of an additional question in yours, and that is because you have the joy. You're all about joy, and that's your whole, if you will, that's what you get at Monday morning, there you go. And I love being there and listening and being a part of it, because that's what you are known for. And that's what you are out there sharing. Mm-hmm. And it's not always an easy thing to share. However, you've been really raw and authentic, recently. And I was so grateful to be a part of that. And so I would really love to, ask you additionally, go ahead and share about joy.
Yeah. I first of all, I love Krystylle, Ashley, Carlotta. I love that we all are like on the same page, but all have such different definitions of what it means to be fabulous. And I think for me, it comes back to being present and having to figure out, what does that mean to me? And what does that look like for me? And quieting all the little voices that come that say, this is what it means to be fat. This is what it has to look like. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it should look like. And what does it mean to me? And sometimes that it's about getting out of even the expectations that I have for what it's supposed to look like. And I was just telling someone earlier, sometimes fabulous is not getting out of my bed for the day and just laying there and crying it out and letting it be and whatever it is in the moment. And you brought up joy, which I'm so passionate about talking about. It goes back to the same thing with that, of getting it out of our heads of what we think joy is supposed to look like, because joy can be an ugly, raw cry, grief, frustration, anger, pain. It can be all of that, because isn't it a joyful thing that we get to be human and we have the privilege of expressing emotion in the way that we do. And so I think for me, it's been about quieting those little voices that say that you have to do a certain thing, you have to behave a certain way or look a certain way in order to be your best, be successful, be fabulous, and creating my own definition, sometimes moment to moment.
I love that. And yes, I wanted to piggyback with the rest of you, going backwards, if you will, because of joy and love and all the frequency, if you will, because many of us understand the whole idea of frequency. We have the tour of love, and all of you have been on either the tour of love, the 36-hour event, or the show, or both. You've been into the community. You've been a part Carlotta was there, and she was one of the hosts when, in regards to the community, I won the Impactor, and she was right there with me. In fact, I was going to go grab a clip, but didn't get to that. But, like, okay, time machine. And so I want to go into that, piggyback next into the frequency that, how does it affect you? Meaning like joy or pain, sorrow, or love, because we all have those feelings, those internal feelings, those intuitive feelings that we have that are more the touchy-feely, yes, yet they can be very important when it is that you're going out there to build a business. You're going out there to you have your family, you have your business, you have your nonprofit. I want to see how those soft emotions blend into the actual work that you're out there doing. So who would like to start with this? Krystylle, possibly, or?
I can. If somebody else wants to go first, they can. It's fine.
Okay, Ashley?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to that. So I think for me, for the majority of my life, I kind of felt like emotions, which are all frequency, most of us understand that, are like a bad thing, right? Like don't rely on your emotions. Don't be too emotional. Don't, show too much emotion because it shows weakness. And I think what's really amazing about the community that I've created is not only that, like, I've been able to create a safe space for them to share their emotions, but I've almost created this little universe where it's safe for me to explore and learn and share mine as well. I've created this place that's safe for me and safe for them. And I started this company at about 28. I was 28 years old. So I didn't really know who I was, let alone who I wanted to grow up to be. And it has been so beautiful to be able to share authentically that. It's been so beautiful to start to understand how my emotions affect my reality and how managing them and being authentic with them, and also encouraging other women to explore, like, how do you really feel about this? Like, are you really okay? And what we've been able to build together again is this place where emotions are okay, they're acknowledged, and they're also recognized as a tool to build really the reality that you're looking to curate. Like so many of you have already said, joy is a choice. Sadness is sometimes that we feel, but staying there is a choice. Staying in despair is a choice. So not only being able to authentically show those emotions and go through them for me, but also being able to create a space where other people can too, I think has been such a blessing and a gift.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Carlotta, I know that your background is interesting in that here you were in the police force, a detective, and then you go into being a speaker, and now you've got a nonprofit. And in that mix, you also have some life story, plus you also are one of those MOMs, right?
Absolutely.
So, I'd love to hear what your thoughts in regards to all of this, because you are one of those that it's almost like you are 180. You go from one flip side to the other side. However, that is not unique. Ashley was just talking about it with her experience. Jessica, too. And we're going to get a little bit more into that with her MOM experience, which is huge. And with Krystylle, we're going to talk a little bit more. And I would like to go into the international stuff with you, Krystylle, also. But Carlotta, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, so which aspect would you like for me to share?
Whatever you're feeling inspired. I brought it up because we only have so much time, and you got such a big background, and I'm fascinated, to be honest with you. My fascination is, you come from this place in your mind where you detective work, police work, the facts, ma'am, that's what you think of, and then you realize, okay, the streets, there's a lot of kids that are having a lot of problems. We need to take care of this. Not only my own child, my own, family I need to take care of, but I have a heart for all of this. And that transition from one to the other, we're women. Let's just be honest about it. And, and sometimes do we let our emotions go on our sleeves and that frequency, or do we just go with it, more the, step at, 1, 2, 3. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Well, yes, I have an extensive background, so I have to be careful of where I'm pulling from, because I could take up the rest of the time. But as a former child protection detective, as a former robbery homicide detective, and former police officer, 15 years, former military, but also before that, that's my professional past career. Before that, I was in and out of foster care. I was moved around about, from shelter to foster care home, back into the home that was abusive about 26 different times. So I'm grateful that I grew into who I was in law enforcement. I'm forever thankful for that background. But around 2018, I made the decision to walk away from all of that and do purpose work. When it comes to my emotions, okay, so like I was that child who, Ashley, listen, I've been through some of the things that you went through as well. And I remember being an emotional wreck. I had to grow and learn how to handle my emotions. I didn't always have it down pat. And I really am still a work in progress. So what I do specifically right now when it comes to my emotions, what I do is if I'm upset, hey, come on now, we all get upset, right? We all get upset about things. And if I feel wrong, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to calm down. And I'm going to realize right now my emotions are high. I'm not going to deal with my children if they make me upset, right? I'm going to wait, and then we're going to have a conversation. And we're going to, hopefully work through it. But it's all about taking a pause. It's not just about taking pauses when we're speaking or when we're on platforms like this. Sometimes we literally have to take a pause in life and reflect and make sure we're good. Understand we are worthy of good emotions. We are worthy of joy. We are worthy of peace. And find out what works best for you to make that manifest in your life.
That's huge. Huge. Jessica, I'd love to, and for those of you that are here, we have one more panelist that's going to be coming in and out. She's having some technical issues, and that happens. And thank you for sharing. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful that all of you are here. Thank you for sharing and giving the feedback. And I've been seeing that powerful talk. And Robin's here, one of our panelists from last week. Another powerful show. Grateful that you're here. Jessica, one of the things about that commercial that I was thinking about with the cast iron pan and frying it up is that you've got a few people at home still, and you are, you run a network, you run your own show, you do your thing, you are incredible how you inspire so many. And I'd love to hear from you what your take is on all of what's being shared right now. I know we started with you with the joy. However, I wanted to, bring it back because of this part of it.
Yeah, I have a few people here. So I'm a mom of 6, and I'm down 1 now, though. My oldest flew the nest a few months back, and I'm still processing it and in denial, and I don't want to talk about it. It's one of those things, like, no one prepares you. And I think those of you that are moms, like, everybody wants to give you advice when they're little and, when they start to become a teenager and everything. But then when they leave, they're just like, oh, sorry. Like, nobody wants to talk to you then. But it's I tend to be a person that it's always, since I was very young, been worn on my sleeve, every emotion that I'm feeling. I suppose as I became an adult, I started to put a lot of walls up because I realized what people can do to when you are that way, they can misuse that, and it can be used against you. And I became harder, but I realized that that's not who I am. And so I think a lot of times we're feeling all of these things and being very open about it on my show, sobbing for an hour, like literally, with my kids, with my husband, with my friends. I may hear a lot like, especially when I was little, oh, you're crying again. Like, really? But it may come with a little more heartache sometimes, to be that vulnerable, but it's who I am. And when I try to suppress that, I'm not being my best. I'm not, like, I would rather be known as the crybaby than someone who's cold and disconnected. And that's just not who I am. So I think a lot of times for me, it has come, it's hard. It's hard to be vulnerable, but it's also very natural to me. It's who I've always been. And I'm just at this point in my life, I think, where I can't suppress that anymore. It just is. And if that means that I'm crying for an hour on Project Joy and everybody's crying with me, then, we should have bought stock in Kleenex or something. I don't know, but it's good. And it's who I am now.
I did warn people, have the Kleenex ready. There might be, and who knows, we may have someone break out in song. And yes, the one that just spoke is one of our songbirds. She's amazing. Last week, Michelle Mraz, she broke out in song. So if you feel so inspired, Jessica, you have an open mic. Go ahead. I will give you that invitation. Krystylle is still trying to get in, as you can see, and we're gonna, when she does come in, we're going to open up the mic for her, and so that she can answer this. In the meantime, what I want to do right now is I want to share something, and we're going to go into the next segment. Oh, wait, here she is. We're going to go ahead and go with Krystylle. Krystylle, so glad that you're here. In regards to, you have a real analytical, you are such an interesting mix to me. And when I first met you, I mean, you're teaching me and doing all this, about all of this stuff for, the native headdress. And I was like standing there, like fascinated, like, and I know you'll never forget it, years ago, guys. And I'm just there, oh, this is so cool. And she's like, oh, I like you. And so, and since then, we've just had this connection. Well, you are a wealth person. You are a numbers person. You coach businesses. You build strong businesses. You also are involved very deeply in a church. You serve those in your community that are hungry and are in need. And you serve people in a whole nother area of the world. Talk about doing it all. Yet I also know you've had some other challenges in your life too. I'd love to hear from you what you want to share in regards to all of this.
Yeah, and I want to share that the struggle is real with this internet over here. So if I get cut off again, I'll just keep trying to come back. So God is really good. And some people have given the analogy a long time ago that when God was giving out gifts and talents and you're supposed to just stand in one line. Well, I went and stood in all the lines and tried to get as many as I could so that I could serve as many people as I possibly could. And as you know, Tamara, my life work is to help others have the best life that they can have here and beyond. And so part of that with innovation and with wealth innovation strategies is to help people know that they don't have to live in lack, that they don't have to live a life where they're wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, we all have to have where we think about today and take care of today. But as far as planning and having where we use our own mind to create, we all do it every day. And especially you've mentioned like MOM. Moms do it every day. We have 3-4 ingredients in the kitchen and it's like, okay, oh my gosh, what's going to be for dinner? And you don't have a time to go to the store. You create a meal. And we have somewhere to be and a zipper breaks. So you go get something else and you create an outfit so that you can still be fabulous. There's all different kind of things that we create each and every day. In business, it's, a customer says that they want to be here tomorrow and you have done like zero planning because it's a surprise visit. You create some things and you make it happen. And so analytically, as moms, in every area of our life, we use our brain like that. And so anything that I can do here in the States to help the homeless, and having conversations and providing meals and bus passes. Okay, what do you need? You need some steel toe shoes. You have an interview for a job. We find a way to make that happen. Oh, you're going to start a cleaning business. Here's about, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 towels that you can use for that. So we do anything and everything that we can with thousands of people and volunteers and people from all different walks of life that come to help us. We provide opportunities for people to help and assist, as well as, giving monetarily and all of that. But really, a lot of it has to do with my upbringing with my parents. They sent me to kindergarten with my little plastic briefcase and told me I can be anything I want to be. I can do anything I want to do. And I believe them. And even though I was met with bullying, elementary, junior high, high school, and on through adulthood, all of those things taught lessons to me that I'm now able to utilize when I'm speaking with people of any age to help to encourage them. And so I believe we were all meant to give, we were all meant to encourage, and I just do it in various different ways.
Absolutely, she does. And in fact, that leads me right into what I was going to be sharing right now. And that is, for those of you that know about, Caroline mentioned not long ago that updates in regards to the Tour of Love and Tour of the Love show. Yes, it's going to be coming back. In fact, in this time slot, that's why this is a limited series. We are going to be coming back, and we're going to be coming back bigger and better than ever, guys, with the show. And with that said, we were getting ready for the 36-hour event, and we had Ashley and Krystylle help finish it out. Yet we needed an open number, and we were like 24, 48 hours out. And what happened? Two people stepped up to me and said, let's create it, because on E360 TV, we could not use anything that was copyrighted. So we created the song. Not only did we do that, then Krystylle got everybody together, and lo and behold, it was maybe a week. Within a week, this is a short clip of the opening act that we had for the Tour of Love. Right. And can I just say, Krystylle, you're here. Okay, so this segues, right? Because at the last minute, here we are. We came up this, if you saw on there, we were the three of us were the co-writers of that song. On there, she talks about it being, she was the executive producer of it. Well, it doesn't go into, she's the dancer. She got together the people that were, I mean, that's not a track that we were able to just go find somewhere. She got them together. The guy that's on the horn, there's a longer version of it. And he's like the next Kenny G. He does anything now.
He
And
really
he's like
is.
20, 30, 40, 50,000 views on 1 hour event, right? It's just incredible, the talent that, and we have Victor Orlando and, the different musical talent, your people there in your neck of the woods. And that was all taking those 3 ingredients in the kitchen and putting together something for a nonprofit to raise the vibration of those that are affected by cancer, right?
Right.
That's fabulous, guys. I mean, if I need one of those buttons saying fabulous, right? Because that's the power of what we're talking about here. And that's what I hope everybody has seen. So I would love to hear, because all of you have some kind of heart for giving back. And yet, how do you do that and remain fabulous while you're busy building successful businesses? Because I know that there's so many people, or I'm going to flip this too. You can choose one of 2 things. Talk about the give back, or you want to talk about why are you building this successful business and how are you remaining fabulous when you're having all of life's struggles? Either one, because we're only going to be able to touch either one of those 2 as we go around the horn. So who would like, raise a hand, who would like to speak first? Okay, Krystylle.
I'll go ahead and try to go in case I get cut off again.
Yeah.
So for me, we all were put here for a purpose. And sometimes we don't necessarily know and understand what that is. And so I have had a number of near-death experiences, including when in December 2020, when I had COVID and double pneumonia and really didn't know whether I was going to live or not. And even when I had the tumor on my kidney and they said it was a 98.5% chance cancerous and took it out. And God said I was in the 1.5. Like we all have and I've turned into oncoming traffic. I've done like a lot of things that have been because of various illnesses and various things that have transpired, but I'm still here. I am still here. And so I do what I do and try to help other people build fabulous businesses, because we don't know when our last day is going to be. And so we all need to just do our best to make this world a better place.
I love that. And I want to go back to Helene says, I lost my humor. Well, that can happen, right, Krystylle? Like you were just saying, I'm sure when you were hearing some of these things and you're going, and you're dealing with some of the medical challenges that many of us have faced, or some of the other challenges out there, or being there for someone that's been through a medical challenge and possibly gained their wings. These are not necessarily easy experiences. And sometimes we may lose our humor for the moment, but that's where community comes in too. And I want to add that in there into the mix. So thank you for sharing. Who else would like to?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think for me, I didn't really even recognize for the longest time in my life that empathy was a gift, but it is one that I have. And growing up, I came from a family of divorced parents, but I always recognized that there were people around me who needed even a little bit more help. And so when I turned 21, couldn't have kids, my husband and I were foster parents for about a decade. We raised 16 children together from the foster system. And when I turned 30, I wanted to be able to, do something even more career-wise. This is going to kill both birds, I think, with the question. So I think I've spent a lot of my life giving back, but it came really naturally for me. Like, I just really love to help people, and I really love to create environments where people feel safe. Safety was not always something that I felt. And so it was really important to me to create that for people around me. So when I started my company, I really didn't start it with the intention of it being a big give back necessarily. But when my friend developed breast cancer and eventually lost her life to it, it was the first time that we had decided that we were going to do kind of a charity situation. And we helped raise funds for her funeral. So about that time, Facebook was coming out with Facebook stars. And so since then, we've donated all of our stars and a portion of our gross profits from Chic Lifestyle to a charity every single month. And so I think for me, it's like God, God knew what he had sanctioned and positioned me for long before I did, and knew the heart that I've had, and has continued to open doors for us to be a part of so many different charities, yours included. We did some work with Chemo Buddies for Life after that. And just this last month, we were able to donate $10,000 in gift cards to women who maybe are battling any kind of cancer and, want to buy some hair or anything, by way of that. And so I think for me, the give back too is it's like, I've always been the type of person who wanted to earn more so that I could do more. And I didn't realize growing up how much I could utilize money as a tool to do that. I kind of grew up in a family that was like, didn't have a lot of money. So I would hear things like, oh, money is evil, or, people who have money lose themselves. And it wasn't until I really became a part of community that I met Tamara, and that I recognized that money is such a beautiful tool in the hands of the right people, and that like good people can do really, really good things with that. So that really has become my heartbeat, is that when I say I want to help women curate their own unique chic lifestyles, we've done everything from help women in domestic violence to victims of sex trafficking to cancer survivors, because for me, it's all about really helping people to understand that they're loved, valued, and purposed. And so that's my answer. And it's like all of that ties together for me, because the bigger that I build this company and this community and this platform, the more people that I can rally to care about these charities and these situations, and people that are hurting that they would never even know about otherwise.
And I believe that is universal with all four of you, to be honest with you. I know all four of your stories. And Jessica or Carlotta, who would like to go next?
I could go.
Okay.
I think from a really young age, I just wanted to help people, and I didn't know what that was going to look like. I'll tell you guys a brief story so you can picture this in your mind. Okay. My grandmother had a very 1970s sort of thing going on in her home, and she had a Tiffany blue colored carpet. Okay. And this was in the living room that you weren't allowed to go in unless it was like Christmas or somebody died, and so I would go in this living room, and I would bring my boom box, dating myself here as well. And I put on a seminar, and I realized looking back now, like how profound this was for like an 8-year-old, but I did a seminar for my grandmother about how to love yourself.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I'm thinking about this now going like, at the time, I don't even know where this came from. Like I was reading from the Bible. I had Taylor Dane's Love Will Lead You Back playing on my boombox here. Okay. So this is the kind of like mindset that I've always been in. And it hasn't been ever from a place of trying to do anything spectacular. It was just, I just felt like I needed to do something to help people. So as time has gone on, that has been, whether it's for work or volunteering or with my kids or anything like that, it has been about even just changing one life, one person, one perspective, one moment, even if it's just creating joy in the moment. And if I keep that in my mind, everything else grows and blossoms because of it. And I can't focus on anything other than that, just to change something, make it better.
And you do. You do. I mean, you do. Sometimes if I need that joy, I'm turning it on Monday morning. Okay, Carlotta.
All right. Well, for me, it's definitely the give back. And I have to say, man, Krystylle, amazing job on everything. That video, that song was everything. I had to say that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now, and so I learned when I was 12 years old, I was pointing to an adult who was full of tears. I'm talking about they were struggling with something. I'm not going to go into detail for the sake of time. But at 12, I found myself pointing to this person and they were feeling better. Their tears dried up. A smile came across their face. And then life will go on for me. Years and years down the road, I found out now one of my superpowers, I would say, or one of my gifts is when a person feels broken, when they feel they've endured adversity and they don't know how to overcome, or they don't even know they've already overcame, right? They're feeling like they can't do it. And I'm like, hey, listen, if I can do it, you can do it. I have a special gift of just pulling those strengths out of people, and they feel like, hey, you know what? If you can do it, I can do it. And so I love like tapping in and touching and reaching people, and I can do that like one-on-one settings or even in a crowd, in the audience when I speak. So I'm just really grateful for that, because I think about myself when I was that child who was lost and going from home to home, feeling abandoned, feeling like, you know, what is life? I don't have a purpose. I don't have a gift. Well, we all have one. It's just up to us to unlock that from the inside out.
I love that. And in fact, I will tell you guys, Carlotta does get a crowd going. There at the Stand Mansion, she had us all on our feet, giving her the standing ovation, laughing, crying. I mean, she had us all over the place. She was amazing. You have a gift. So thank you for that. I am going to right now. Yes, I have this hat. We're going around to the end of the show. And I'm going to show a video right now because this is the show about being fabulous. And I've been getting clips from different people, and I'm going to share a couple of them right now.
Hi, I am Gloria Grace Rand from Melbourne, Florida, and what I like best about being Fab over 40 is the fact that things just get better every year. It's wonderful being over 40, and I am happy to be there.
Hello, my name is Michelle Moras, and I am Fab over 40. Fab over 40 is a mindset. It's not really an age group. It's when you step into the power of who you are, what you want to be, and who you really want to be. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Thank you very much, Fab over 40, Miss Maya Angelou. But that is the power of stepping into who you are.
Tamara Hunter, so I am supporting Team Tamara in her bid to be this year's Fab over 40 woman.
And oh, by the way, did I mention that I'm running for Fab over 40? And I want to say thank you to everyone on this panel for supporting that run. Because truthfully, why am I doing it? It is for this group.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. will match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
So that's why I'm running, guys. And so, yes, vote, vote, vote. Thank you very much for all your votes. As we start to round this up, I want to say thank you again for all of your support. I want to say everyone that's been here, both live and in replay, hashtag live, hashtag replay, share the show out. I think we've had so many golden nuggets. And as we go around, very few moments, but what would you like to say in closing remarks in regards to being fabulous? Jessica.
I would say you don't just need to cope or survive, that you are your birthright is to thrive, that you can use every moment that's given to you to make a better life for yourself and a better world for everyone.
Love it. I love it. Carlotta.
Well, I just want to say thank you again, Tamara, for the opportunity. And I want to go ahead and be on record saying congratulations to winning overall Fab Over 40. We're going to celebrate that in advance. Let's go.
Absolutely. I'll take it. I love it. You know, you were there when I won the Next Impactor. So let's do that. Love it. Love it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being in. Krystylle.
Oh, yes. I was waiting to hear what else Carlotta had to say.
Carlotta, do you want to say? Okay, go ahead. Yes, please.
Well, listen, I really don't have anything to say other than no more flinching. It's a movement. It's about, living life without fear. It's about us being our best self. Be sure to follow me. Check out my website at carlottataylor.com and follow me on social media. I will be keeping you updated with what's coming next.
Yes, and in fact, I want to share with all of you, YouTube, I will be putting all of their contact information. So please check it out as soon as by tomorrow. It will be up there. Krystylle.
Yes. So thank you so much again for allowing me to be here over and over and over again, bringing me back on. And I just want to encourage everyone to know and understand this. We were all made uniquely, and we all were meant to go from creativity to cash flow in various different ways in our life. And so remember, you are unique for a reason. Everybody's not going to understand your journey, but it's not their journey, it's yours. So remember to keep rising.
Love it. Ashley?
Yeah, I just want to continue to inspire each and every woman out there that you're the author of your own life. And if you haven't already, go vote for Tamara. She helps people in so many different ways and continuously gives her platform to help each and every woman on it just survive, thrive, promote their businesses, share their stories. She's an amazing, amazing human, and she and the community that she supports deserves this. Thanks for letting me be here today, Tamara.
Thank you. You guys are going to make me cry. Thank you so very much, everyone that's been here. And may I say, real quickly, I come from a family that believes in voting. So vote, 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 vote for the, if you're here in the United States, vote there. And then, yes, vote for Team Tamara. I want to thank you all for being here with us. We need to go. Until next Sunday, remember, you are fabulous. Bye.